Most people lose money here, but we're going to see if we can flip the script on the market. This is Ryan from Precision Trading Labs. I'm going to jump in and look at the SPY. Last 2 days have obviously been fairly bearish, right? After a nice run up. You can see it a little bit clear on the ES futures, but I know a bunch of you are trading the SPY, so I want to dive in here and let's look at last 2 days action, right? So there's Friday, here's Monday. Excuse me, this was a nice run up on Monday, Tuesday, and here's today. The market's closed, right? So now we've popped up here. We've closed this little wick gap in here, and now you're either thinking, hey, I got to jump on the bandwagon and get short, and if go out on a limb here and say you probably don't have a plan on what you're going to do. You're just going to jump in short and see how the market opens tomorrow. I've heard there's such a thing as a good plan and a flawed plan. Plan beats no plan, but let's go ahead and see if we can refine that for you a little bit better, right? So this is the daily chart. I'm not seeing a whole lot of action here on anywhere I want to get long. Okay, so the one thing I will say is that price would really have to dig into this candle here for the short for the selling to continue, right? Now it could, because that is that's mostly a wick candle, and I kind of think price wants to dig into those and then maybe get us down to this little area here, right? I'm not in love with this, right? As a potential retracement, like price will pop in here. I don't love that action here. So the daily chart's not really talking to me. So let's drop down to the 3 hour. And I like this a little bit more here. Let's button that up. Okay. I still think it's going to struggle here. Does it mean it's going to, pop back up to new highs? So who knows? We just may not may have to dig through it, right? But let's see if we can have a plan there, because a bunch of you are going to jump in short, and it's going to be too late. Right. So let's see. Price gets down here. I like this area a whole bunch more. Let's see how far it goes, right? 7.9, we include that. All right. Either way, whether you're a more conservative trader or you're okay, going swinging for the fences there, we get a nice move off there. I'd be looking to buy calls down here on the SPY, or look and see if the S&P 500 futures start to line up, right? But looking at this area here that I told you about, I think this has already been touched once, popped up. We're back down here. I think it may have an easier time than I initially thought to dig in here. But, tomorrow's Thursday. We only have 2 more days left in the market. So we'd really have to dig down into this area before we get, the retracement back to the upside. So 3 hour, I'd just like to see if there's something a little bit more that I'm missing here. No, I think that's still the 652.75. Also, a lot of people are going to be waiting for 650. They're going to take the market up before it, and then you're going to chase it. Okay. Don't assume that this isn't a well thought out plan on somebody who's not you. Okay. The market loves to take money from novices trading and guessing with no plan. Got to tell you, the last few days, let's see, market's been pretty volatile the last 2 weeks. When was Powell's announcement last week? We've had a phenomenal couple of trades in both the futures and options market. Our main vehicle here, Precision Trading Lab, is we love the futures, we love options because they give you leverage, also help you control risk. I love the futures because they are 24 hours, but I also love options because you can get it really inexpensive. So we're actually trading a little bit less options the last week. We do have some trades running for a few days, and when I say running, I mean that they're in profit, so we're just letting them run. And then in futures, we're more of a we set and forget in and out, and that is going fantastically the last week. I got to give I'll take partial credit because I'm only half the team here. Me and I have business partner Mitch Firestone. I'm sure you guys have seen him on our YouTube channel. Just put out a couple bangers. I put out a couple bangers last week, and just the whole thing just worked out. So like back to the SPY, I this action here that we saw this morning was really interesting. This isn't something I traded. I tried getting long a couple of times on the NQ, and it wasn't until the end of the day that I felt comfortable pulling the trigger, and I didn't hold for a very long while. Okay, so we had really nice supply being respected here. So there's a supply area right there. You can see the retracement into this vicinity here. Bam, right? Gave you another chance in here. Bam, okay? And now here's where people get complacent. They're short, they stay short, and they're not prepared for what's next. This is setting up to me really nicely. If I look at this whole area here, right? This is where breakout traders are going to be waiting. They're either going to be looking to get, the breakdown here, or breakout up into this area. You are in a dangerous point at each area, right? Because right there, that demand zone was respected right there. When price is respecting demand, you're in this fight of whether you want to call it flight to quality or flight to safety. But when that's respected, that's a good sign that there's going to be a battle here, right? So I think we're actually going to get my take on it is we'll get an initial surge into the 662. That'll be the next area there. That is a beautiful supply area that I could see holding tomorrow. We have to see what tomorrow looks like. Let's put it right here. Okay, that is a beautiful, and I forgot to do the disclaimer right at the beginning. So everything in this video is for educational purposes only. I will put the disclaimer in the YouTube video. But as you can see here, we have really nice supply that moved down. This one has already been tested and worked out. So if I could be in charge of the market for a day, the way I would do it is I would very much love for price to get short in here. So let's say we get a pop right in here. People go long. This supply zone holds. Right, and then price makes its way back down. We're able to get short, and then hopefully ride it. Let's see, 660. You don't want to be too greedy because that demand zone that I really like on the 1 hour is still a ways away. Definitely, could you could, just not my style to hold that long, especially not in the SPY. But hope you get a little bit of value from this video. I hope you get a lot of value. I don't know what I'm talking about a little bit. But if you got value from what I talked about in this video, go ahead and drop us a like and a comment with your questions. Oh, I do have a invitation to a live Zoom call I am doing next week. I will put the link in the description. If for some reason you register and then you can't come and you want the recording, just send an email to Ryan at precisiontradinglabs.com and I will send you that. But for now, trade happy, trade safe, and be careful out there. The market is quite volatile, and if this is your first time doing it, you definitely want to poke around our YouTube channel or go to our resource link in the description, and I'll see you next time. Take care.